Feel Good Friday, everybody. Hola, bon dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com on the Good Morning Portugal live stream. How are you today? Prof. Eusebio's here, Pam's here, James is here, Stephen, and James again, and Francis, and Susan, or Suze to our pals. They're in Finland, along with Taxi. Deagle's here, and Thunder, and Victoria first in. I think she quite likes that, to be first. A little bit of the old competitive spirit there, doesn't go unnoticed. And first, an apology to you, Victoria, for accusing you of having a tush de mista for breakfast when it was something entirely different. And we have the documentary pictorial photographic evidence to show everybody, because you do eat a very nice breakfast, it has to be said. Feel Good Friday, everybody. Feel Good Friday. Whoa. How are you today? Do let me know how you are feeling, please, because there are many reasons to be cheerful, are there not? Countless, infinite ways to count our blessings. And of course, you may be been practicing yesterday with Thanksgiving, of course. The attitude of gratitude, I think, sent up the net gratitude value around the world to sky-high proportions, hopefully. And it does us human beings good, doesn't it, to count our blessings and to be grateful. What are you thankful for today as the Thanksgiving spirit continues? How was your Thanksgiving? I hope you had a great day, great meal. Did you do something like this? Let me show some pictures that came in from Carlos. Quite incredible what goes on in America, isn't it? Well, these guys, this isn't from Carlos, this is from Steve. Those guys, 30-foot plus up a tree, might have survived Thanksgiving yesterday. We don't know what happened to them, but we do know that this was consumed at Casa Carlos, which is a great insight into the American Thanksgiving dinner, with the macaroni cheese there and the cranberry sauce. And a bread roll on the plate there. What did you have for Thanksgiving yesterday? And look, somebody was waiting for some scraps from the table there at Casa Carlos as well. Oh, who is that? Oh, fantastic. And you, by the look of the photos and videos, thank you for sending them in, Carlos. You catered for many people yesterday. Is that part of it? Is to just get loads of people around the table on Thanksgiving? So let me know how it went for you for your Thanksgiving day yesterday. And on this Feel Good Friday, what you're feeling good about? Maybe you're bagging yourself a Black Friday. I mean, let's face it, it's Black November, isn't it? All this marketing stuff's been going on for the whole month and the rest of the year, because I'm not seeing anything. I do want to buy a biggish television screen, a smart TV. We need to have need for a smart TV in the Casa Munson here. At this Casa Carlos, and I'm looking for an absolute bargain. As you would be forgiven for thinking, Black Friday is going to be amazing. It's going to be 50 euros or something. They're clearing out the stock. No, not at all. I've seen better bargains outside of this ridiculous marketing ploy. So do let me know. Are you feeling good because you found a bargain, or are you feeling good because you're not investing in old tat you don't really need? As I think Pete Bleach put it on Facebook yesterday. Yesterday's show was fantastic. The review coming in from Deagle. Thanks, Deagle, for saying that. Appreciate it. They were amazing, weren't they? The gentlemen who are arranged in front of you on the screen. It was great. And Francis, one of them. Cape Town bracing for another storm today, but still in the calm phase. Let's, on Feel Good Friday, putting the sex in sexta-feira, let's just have a chat with everybody before we go into the news. And the news has taken a turn for what I think is the worst and for concern, but we won't dwell too much on that, okay? And let's go back to the first comment that came in from Victoria this morning. Feliz sexta-feira, meus lindos amigos. La bon dia, kids. Bilingual greeting. Thank you very much, Victoria. How are you doing this morning? Pretty good by the sound of it. Bon dia, alegria. And we've got Thunder's Christmas decorations, making an effort. We love the Christmas decorations from your municipality, but we also love your own Christmas decorations. And Thunder, first with his hat in the ring, having erected his Christmas offering for all to see, and probably from as far as the eye can see as well. Good effort, Thunder. We'll show that a little bit later on. Bon dia, Carl, from a very windy, stormy Belfast. We'll do the Portuguese weather as well this morning, of course. I'm sure William up in Coleraine, blown across into Scotland. Few trees down across Northern Ireland. Bad weekend for Christmas shoppers. Wow. They may have to stay in their homes until December, when Christmas shopping should be done, or Christmas Eve. That's when Christmas shopping should be done, shouldn't it? Those were the days, weren't they, when you bought a tree and the decorations on Christmas Eve, as well as all the shopping and the turkey, and you got drunk all in one day. Wasn't it? Happy times. Oh, and 15 minutes yesterday completed. Well done. Let's find you on Muito Bem. It should be Mia on the Feel Good Friday show today. Mia can't be with us this morning, but I will share the link to her excellent free course so that you can take advantage of that if you haven't already. Let me pop that in there because I think she's actually, we understand that Mia might go in for a bit of the old Black Friday marketing. So I'm going to give you a link that gives you a premium member benefit, I believe. Let me just pop that in the comments, and you'll get a community member benefit there. So let me just, go here, expatsportugal.com/premium member benefits, and you'll see a special deal with Mia. And you can sign up for a free course, of course, and you can also trade up from there into one of her Black Friday deals, which I'm sure she is working on today. But in her place today, we have what lovely Anna Neto who stepped in. Do you remember on Wednesday we had the doc talking about Speak, for which he's become a representative in his part of Portugal. He's teaching conversational English and he's learning Portuguese via Speak. Anna Neto, who he works with, as you can see on the left of your screen there, is joining us at 9 o'clock this morning. So I better crack on, haven't I? Let me just get rid of that banner so you can actually see her. And our other guest. So Speak Out with Anna, that's from 9. And then at 9:30, that's Jon on the right on Feel Good Friday today. And I thought he was in Lisbon. He might be in Vegas. Because I was going to say, what goes on in Vegas now goes on in Lisbon. And look what is going on there. He's dressed up as a Santa's helper in his Santa dungarees with his lovely little dog there, he doesn't seem entirely comfortable with the scenario that Jon is involving him or her in there. But we'll fight. We can ask Jon directly later on what exactly is going on there. But Anna Neto at 9 and Jon at 9:30. Stay tuned, everybody, for this Feel Good Friday. We'll be learning a little bit about how to learn Portuguese. We might even do a little bit of the actual language as well with Anna Neto, if you've got any questions for her, and having a laugh with Jon as well from Las Vegas, with a big interest from Las Vegas to Lisboa. We'll talk to him about all of that. Quick flash then of Thunder's lights. We'll come back to these, but look at this. If you look up in Lisbon, you'll see the only apartment in that neighborhood with lights on at the moment. Good effort. Keep them coming in, everybody. There's Thunder Duck's effort, and we'll have a close-up from the balcony a little bit later on as well. What's going on in the comments here? Talking about Black Friday, I think everyone, I can imagine some of our more curmudgeonly community members here, Black Friday, a bit like me, I suppose, talking about it as a cynical marketing ploy. Feeling good on this Friday. Bon dia, alegria from Susan Taxi there. Oh, and I was going to give you a muito bem, wasn't I? Distracted myself. A muito bem for. Hold on. Has anyone done it in Portuguese recently? So you need to let me know if you did something scary in Portuguese, that you pushed the boundaries. If you went from the lady on the left to the lady on the right, punching the air in victory and doing it in Portuguese, and a little bit. Does anyone do that in real life? That, if you were going for a screen test or an audition, could you do nervous, please? And there she is, biting her lip. And I don't know if there are certain gestures that only happen in acting, aren't there, and in films. And people don't actually do them in real life. They only do them in soap operas and in Hollywood. And I think that's one of those faces on the left. But you get the gist, a little trepidatious before going into the pasteleria. Coming out, having ordered, or the ice cream shop, having ordered 2 scoops. The lady possibly on the right, the similar sort of condition that James has been in recently. Did it in Portuguese. And for Deagle, finally, Deagle, sorry about this. It's taken a very long time to bring this to you. But for you, my friend, a special thumbs up from Philomena. Muito bem, Deagle. Very good. All right, back to those comments. James is here as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. I'm not going to get to the news and weather at this rate. All right, so let's crack on. Feliz sexta todos. So, estou a 15 minutos ontem. And let me guess, 10 minutes already today. Yes! 10 minutos até agora hoje. Well done, sir. And muito bem to you as well. Bom dia, alegria a todos. I'm in line at the South African Home Affairs, so may disappear at some point. That sounds ominous. Bon fin de semana, Gumpers. 30 minutos hoje. So it's done 30 minutes already, Francis. Well done. And thank you yesterday. You were amazing yesterday, sharing your situation and what happened with you, and why it was an especially poignant November for you. Good on you, Francis. Thanks for everything, mate. Eusebio is here. Prof. Bom dia. Enche a sua sexta-feira com luz, não coisas da Amazon. So what's that? So that's a Friday with no light. No light things. No. It's a Luz na coisa. What is that? Coisa is one of my favorite words, as in thing, or alguma coisa. And I would like to have a screen persona of Mr. McCoyser at some time. But alguma coisa da Amazon. What's going on there with the lights and the things from Amazon there, Prof? And you've served us up a wonderful, as ever, today in Portuguese history. And it's man of the moment who delivered the news yesterday that we're going into a state of calamity again from the 1st of December. I'll be back with that in just a moment. Bon dia to you. Another one of our illustrious panel yesterday. Stephen, you were great yesterday. And again, inspiring words shared on the Man Cave, reshared yesterday as the basis, part of the basis for our discussion yesterday. Thank you very much for being there yesterday, Stephen. Sensitive and erudite as usual. And like the rest of us, not averse to being a 12-year-old at times as well. James Holly, luz e alegria, light and joy. Alegria. Oh, how lovely. And you know what? I've just discovered something. New Life in Portugal. Personalized, research-driven programs, dedicated team of international experts, exceptional facilities in a stunning natural park. New Life Portugal, folks, opening on the 31st of December. I think me and Mrs. M will cover this tomorrow night on the Feelgood Portugal show. Wellness retreat and mindfulness center, offering a rare combination of meditation, yoga, counseling, coaching, fitness, darts, no, only kidding about the darts, fitness, nature, and mindful community life in the Serra da Estrela, opening at the end of the year. How amazing. We'll have a deep dive into that because that looks amazing. And let me just put it on the screen for you. This is what a great backdrop Portugal is for such a venture. And then I was having a look at it because it came up in, I don't know what I was searching for, probably, spiritual stuff, Portugal. And there on the screen is New Life Portugal. That showed up. I think they have one of these already in Thailand. I think it's an existing organization, but they're opening up here in Portugal, New Life Portugal. There you go. And we'll do more on this tomorrow night. Lovely, well-produced website and videos. I'm scrolling down and I'm scrolling down and I'm scrolling down. Whoa, hold on a minute. Rest and rejuvenate path. That's my old mate Chooks, bottom right of these people here. Chooks, what's he doing here? I know he loves Portugal, and we've been threatening to meet up here in Portugal, but he's part of this, so we might even be able to get to talk to him on the show tomorrow night. So well done, Chooks, and the team there at New Life Portugal. We want to find out more, and we wish you all the best for your opening on the 34th, going into the new year, opening for 2022. Fantastic. Today in Portuguese history, 2015, Antonio Costa becomes the 119th Prime Minister of Portugal, 4th of October 2015. It's my sister's birthday. The Conservative Portugal Ahead coalition is a typical kind of lame sounding the catchphrase for a political catch-all by the sound of it there. Portugal ahead. Couldn't they have come up with something more exciting than that? The coalition that had ruled since 2011, came first in the elections. And that's one of three of these emissions from Prof. Eusebio. We'll come back to the second and third of those in just a moment. So, bon dia from Oregon, from Pammy. 62 days until I move. We're counting down with you. We don't mind going through each and every one of those with you, Pam. So, see you on Monday. When you'll be able to say, 59 days to go on Monday. Eusebio, Antonio Costa formed an alliance with the other parties on the left. Wisely, you might think. The left bloc, the Portuguese Communist Party, and the Greens, don't forget to eat your greens, which altogether constitute a majority in Parliament, and toppled the government on the 10th of November. Costa was chosen as the new Prime Minister of Portugal by President Cavaco Silva on the 24th of November and assumed office on the 26th of November. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. I was going to say that was my breakfast, but I haven't had any. I'll have the toast after, Mrs. M. So, yes, 26th of November, and that's today, of course, and that's the this day in Portuguese history. But, of course, now facing a general election, which will take place in January. Busy time for the Portuguese government here, and we'll come back to Mr. Costa in just a moment. Deborah's here. Well, hello, Deborah. Can we have Trevor Noah's address, please? Again, I didn't manage to cut and paste it, or could you send it to me? Even better. Mark, we need to write to him to tell him all about Portugal, and maybe we can even get Francis to present it personally to his pal, to his mate, Trevor Noah. Bon dia, happy World Olive Tree Day. I didn't know that. Thank you. Very good. Who'd have thought there was such a day? 26th of November. Good to know. World Olive Tree Day. Go hug an olive tree if you have one in your vicinity. Happy Friday, everyone, from Gary. Happy for today as we travel to Portugal tonight. Well done. The things are changing a little bit. Not drastically, too drastically for my liking, but there you go. I will tell you more about the state of calamity coming into force on the 1st of December. It's funny, isn't it? And when I was talking to Mrs. M about this last night, you would think, wouldn't you, that calamities aren't staged, are they? We've got a state of calamity, but we'll wait until the 1st of December to put it into place. Jim White, bon dia todos from Mandy and Jim. Good morning to you both. How are you? Jim and Mandy giving way to Mike on the screen. Bon dia from a freezing Maastricht this morning. Is it chilly over there? Get your thermals on, Mike. I'm getting closer to the front of the line. Grateful for that. So good luck in there, whatever's going on in there. Sensación! Boa, sexta-feira. Sensational and good Friday from Owen to us all. Sorry we didn't have you on the screen with us as well yesterday, Owen. I think you had some connection problems, but see you soon, I hope, in one capacity or another, mate. Carl, next Friday, you make your own baked beans is doing some pretty good viewing on YouTube. Very popular on the internet. You can hear it in the distance. Carl, next Wednesday. Thank you for that reminder. Cheers, Gary. I was ready to see you last Wednesday. That's how excited I am. Weather there from Francis in Cape Town. Yesterday's show was fantastic. I've saved 100% this Black Friday by not spending any money. Well done. Good policy. Antonio Costa's father was born in Maputo and is of Goan descent and is already the 10th longest serving PM in Portuguese history. Amazing in these times politically, right? But maybe not for much longer. Let's see. Black Friday November is being followed by Calamity December indeed. And people talking to each other in Portuguese. That's a very good sign. Well done, everybody. Never a fan of Black Friday, says James Holly. Morning all from Elra. Thank you, Elra. How you doing there? And check out Saturday night live ad for Thanksgiving shopping at Target. Captures Thanksgiving for many on YouTube. Cheers, Jim, for that. Black Friday has arrived. Shopping for the fam back home. Oh, so she's out and about shopping. Fantastic. Bon dia, Carl, from St. Catherine this morning. Good morning to you. How are you? Antonio F is here as well. Bon dia, todos y todas. And fill your Friday with light. Not things from Amazon. Thank you very much. I'm all for that. What a lovely idea that is. Let's let that linger on the screen. Getting a lot of mileage out of Caria lately. Obrigado novamente, Filomena. Yeah, Caria. Caria cafe, Caria cerveja, uma cerveja. Perfect. Well done, James. Getting out there. He's doing it in Portuguese. And Lonnie is here as well. I hear you had a nice lunch yesterday, Lonnie. Fabulous. Okay, let's check out the weather, shall we? Let's have a quick look at that and see what will go on with the weather across Portugal. And we will start in Lisbon. You want to see this, don't you? You like to see if there's going to be any sunshine in your vicinity. I keep pressing the wrong button. Come on, share. That's the one I need. Okay, share the screen, Carl. Well done. Yes, it was a busy day yesterday. Perhaps a little bit tired. An amazing day actually yesterday, full of exciting and interesting interviews, webinars, and one-to-ones with people. Fantastic day. The weather, here it is finally on the screen for you. No, it's not quite finally on the screen with you, but it is now. Look at that. There you go. Lisbon, 9 degrees at the moment. The high of 14 and a low of 9, where it is currently with a clear sky. Sunny day. In prospect there. 15 the high tomorrow and a slightly cloudy and rainy day on Sunday over there in the capital. Porto, 13 degrees the high, 6 the low as well. Similarly to the capital, clear sky and sunny at the moment, but will be raining, it looks like, for the weekend there in Porto. Take your brolly if you're going to Porto this weekend. Coimbra, 8 degrees, clear sky currently, sunny day today, 13-degree high, not too bad for what get towards the end of November, of course. Faro, 7 degrees in the clear sky, high of 15. That's pretty good as well, isn't it? And a sunny weekend. If you're chasing the sun this weekend, head south. Aveiro, let's go through those other districts, work our way through again, back with Braga and Castelo Branco on Monday. But for today, Aveiro, 6 degrees with the clear sky. 13 degrees the high today. It's going to be rainy, similarly to Porto. I think, northerly parts of Portugal, subject to a bit of rain, it would look like for the next few days. 13 the high in Aveiro today, 6 the low. And Beja, foggy this morning and only 2 degrees in the Alentejo. 12 degrees the high, though, when that fog disappears to give way to some sunshine. Cloudy day tomorrow and a sunny Sunday in Beja. There you go. There's your weather. Your news update, I'm going to bring you now with the Algeciras Sweet Potato Festival. I'm going to kick off with that before we talk about the state of calamity that is returning to Portugal, because, of course, I would rather not, but I think it's quite important to share that with you so that you know what you're up against if you're on a reconnaissance mission or you're just going about your business in Portugal and you're already here. So the Algeciras Sweet Potato Festival, isn't this fantastic? One of the largest autumn, who knew of such a thing? Look at those lovely sweet potatoes there on the screen. Algeciras, one of the largest autumn gastronomic festivals in the south of the country, kicks off on the 26th of November at Espaço Multiusos EMA in the multi-use space. Isn't that very functional as a name for a building in Algeciras? This by Cristina da Costa Brooks, there, possibly with a British or American partner there, following last year's digital version of the festival. I mean, honestly, digital festival. I had sweet potato chips yesterday. If anyone knows the San Martino de Porto, you'll be aware. We call it the Dinosaur Cafe because it looks like it has a dinosaur bone structure on top of the building. It's actually really an upturned boat, or the ribs of an upturned boat, and we had sweet potato chips in there and they were delicious. Service was excellent. A really, really nice time in there. Beautiful view of the sea, of course, as well. Hot chocolates and sweet potato chips is what we had in there. But anyway, back to the sweet potatoes of Algeciras. Following last year's digital version of the festival due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the fantastic Algeciras Sweet Potato Festival returns with some restrictions and adaptations, but very close to normality. It has been necessary to make some adjustments to respond to the requirements and restrictions still imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic, and to make sure we have a larger and safer space for those who visit us. The municipality of Algeciras did not want to fail to take a step forward and wanted to make sure this important event would take place. I mean, how many things go on at a sweet potato festival? Has anyone been to that? And can they tell us? So you can visit there. Before we go into this, is probably one of the last things to enjoy publicly in that part of the country, and before we go into the state of calamity, and you have to wear a mask in all enclosed spaces, etc., etc. And I'll tell you what the new measures are in just a moment. You can visit the Sweet Potato Festival from 12 p.m. to midnight today, Friday, the 26th, and on Saturday, 27th, and Sunday, 28th, they're open from 12 p.m. till 10 p.m. at night. I'm thinking there's going to be all kinds of sweet potato mash, sweet potato pie, sweet potato ale, sweet potato liqueur, and chips, and just straight up boiled sweet potato with lashings of Azorian butter, I hope. Okay, best coverage of the state of calamity, I think, goes to the best award between the two papers, goes to the Portugal Resident, who are very early on this, actually. Hold on a minute, I don't want that on the screen. We talked about Antonio Costa before, and he delivered news yesterday. I just need to have a sip of tea, finish off my lukewarm tea. I'm going to play a bit of music while I do that, okay? Check this out. Language learning. Sing along. You know the words to this.
Obrigado, obrigada, bom dia a todos. Obrigado, obrigada, bom dia alegria. If you don't know
What that means, you'll have to ask me. But not today. Mia not here with us today, but to check out that link in our perks and benefits section and sign up with Mia there. You can do that for nothing. Okay, where were we? We were, of course, about to look at the state of calamity that is about to be reimposed here in Portugal on the 1st of December. Let me bring that to your screen right now. Portugal Resident, early on to this yesterday. I don't know if what happened. Was it wasn't there a meeting supposed to happen today? And we were going to find out. Maybe this has been leaked or put out there early. Anyway, that doesn't matter because this is what's happening. Antonio Costa there, one of the longest serving PMs, as we found out, thanks to Prof. Eusebio. Back to calamity by the Portugal Resident. I hear the writing of Natasha Don here. But anyway, Portugal braces for new measures published late last night, but vaccination has helped massively. I'm going to read through all of this because I think it's quite important information for you here if you're coming to Portugal or if you live here already. This is the message this afternoon from PM Antonio Costa. This was printed yesterday, whose government has balked at introducing any kind of draconian measures. Focus is on reinforcing vaccinations, and to this end, the country will continue purchasing vaccines required. Don't forget to invest in pharmaceutical companies if you haven't done already. There is no decision yet on, I don't suppose they're doing a Black Friday deal, are they? There's no decision yet on the vaccination of children, although the government is prepared to go ahead with it. For now, it will wait to hear the opinion of the Vaccine Technical Commission due next week. Mr. Costa said the government recognises the country is entering a period of greater risk. The risk matrix sees the country deep into the red zone, high risk, 2 months after being well in the green zone, low risk. We are better off than the majority of European countries, but we aren't as good as we had hoped, he said. Thus, new measures are essentially general. People should self-test. Okay, let me just make sure this is on the screen so you can see it. Yes, it is. Okay. People should self-test before family gatherings, particularly over the festive period. People should work from home as much as possible to avoid excess contacts. Check. State of calamity returns from December the 1st. Basically, these interventions will involve three main areas. The wearing of masks in all closed spaces, and that was certainly becoming more relaxed around my neck of the woods. But that's going to be reasserted, the wearing of masks in all closed spaces, it would appear. Use of COVID digital certificates for entry into restaurants, touristic establishments, cultural events, gyms, obligatory testing in certain areas, explained the PM, detailing visits to old people's homes, to patients in health units and, or sports, cultural events, bars and discotheques. No one uses the word discotheque anymore, do they? Anyway, you get the gist. Tests will also be required for people flying into the country. So this is important for many of you here. Tests will be required for people flying into the country, with airlines facing serious sanctions. Sounds like they got relaxed as well if they don't ensure passengers are carrying valid negative tests. A week of contact containment is also planned between January the 2nd and 9th in an attempt to avoid, this is a firebreak mechanism, isn't it? To avoid a repeat of the tragic January of 2021. During this week, teleworking will be mandatory and bars and discos will be forced to close. School will resume after the festive period, days later than planned on January the 10th. So they got a fire break and the kids will be glad they got another week off school. Delayed start of the new term in 2022, reaching the 85% mark of vaccinations in Portugal, and now at 87%, did not end the pandemic. Do you remember, does anyone remember just 2 weeks to flatten the curve? It allowed us to reduce cases, hospitalizations and deaths, and has left us in a better position than the rest of Europe, said Costa, which is true, isn't it? We all want, it would appear, we all want to have a safe Christmas, and most of us, most of all, that we can resume our life safely after the festive season, the Prime Minister said. That's an interesting way of putting it, isn't it? Yes, we're all about freedom and liberty, but not until. General recommendations, regular testing, teleworking. Okay, so those are the sort of key points, key bullet points. State of calamity comes into effect on December the 1st. So regular testing and teleworking, the order of the day. New measures, and just finally, because we have Anna Neto waiting for us, who will join us after the 9 o'clock intro, talking about Speak and talking about learning Portuguese. Mask wearing is mandatory in closed spaces and all areas that not have been declared an exemption by DGS, the health board. Digital certificate, the vaccine and or a negative test becomes mandatory to enter restaurants, tourist establishments and local lodgings. Those are alojamento local, the AL's badges that you see on guest houses and Airbnbs. Events with assigned seating and gyms. Negative tests are mandatory even for vaccinated people. To visit residents at old people's homes and patients at health establishments, or to enter large events with no assigned seating or improvised venues and sports venues, as well as bars and discos. That's the sort of marital gatherings, etc., isn't it? Celebrations in conference rooms, those sorts of things. Negative tests are mandatory for all flights arriving in Portugal. Much larger sanctions are to be implemented for airlines. A week of contact containment called between January the 2nd and 9th, making teleworking mandatory. That's okay for me. Delaying ahead of that curve, delaying the start of the second term of school from January the 3rd to the 10th, and closing bars and discos. There you go. Sharing that with you. I'm sure you'll have things to say about that in the comments. Anna is with us. She will join us straight after this, folks. The intro that we know and love. Looking forward to talking to you in just a moment, Anna, after we play this. Friday vibe, isn't it? The lovely theme tune. Thanks to Pete, the unofficial ambassador of Castanheira de Pera. I haven't heard from him for a little while. Good morning to you, Pete. Have a great weekend. Bom fim de semana. Getting into my Portuguese there because look, on the screen now we have Ana with us. Ana Neto, hola, bom dia. ¿Cómo
Bom
estás?
dia, bom dia. How are you, Carl?
Very well, thank you. And with Brazil, so good to see you here. Thank you very much. It's a relatively short notice stepping in and coming.
Thank you for the invitation.
Well, not at all. I'm going to swap us round so that you'll look. So we're almost kind of looking at each other there.
Yeah.
Where are you in Portugal this morning?
In Leiria.
In Leiria, where of
Yes.
course the doc is Andy Thompson.
Yes, we met.
Yeah.
We met a couple of days ago.
Right. Well,
and
go on. Sorry, carry on.
No, yeah, we met at a speak event. So we started conversation, and then he told me that I was invited to come here.
That's how it works here. That's how it works here.
Okay.
And clearly, you're not afraid to speak and talk about this wonderful idea. So, can you, for those of the people here who haven't heard about it, can you tell us how this all works? How they can learn Portuguese in this way?
Yes. So, Speak is an impact venture that wants to fight social exclusion, and the way we do this is through our language and culture exchange groups. So these groups are a way to meet people, to share our cultures, and at the same time learn a language. So learning the language is an excuse actually to meet people and make people feel part of the city where they are living. So the project started here in Leiria, and and at the moment it's in 26 different cities all over Europe. This is what we do. Besides our language groups, we also have our culture events. Last night we had another one, so I was with Andy again. We were on a language exchange event.
Yeah.
So another way of meeting people, practicing some languages. So yeah, this is what we do.
It's a lovely idea. Beautiful idea. And often it's easier to learn a language, isn't it, when you are doing something else, or if you're incentivized to do so. So for a lot of people here, if they want to order a beer, a coffee, or a cake, they're quite willing to speak Portuguese, which is very different from sitting at home with your head in the book on your own, isn't it?
Yes. So we always try to meet these groups offline. So we have presential groups. With the pandemic, we had to restructure the way we did this. So we moved everything online at the moment, and because restrictions are allowing us to move back to offline, we are resuming to these offline sessions with these offline events. But always keeping in mind that we need to be safe and that we comply with all the safety measures.
Well said. Okay, and this is wonderful because did you start it? Are you part of the team that started it?
Not exactly, but I came in like in the beginning. I'm with Speak since 2016.
Okay, well, I first discovered it in Aveiro. I know you've got an active group in Aveiro.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, and how lovely it is that I want to find out exactly what an impact organization is. But look at this, you've certainly made an impact. 48,000 speakers sharing their culture, 198 countries represented. I didn't know there were 198 countries, 57 languages shared, and 26 cities where you can experience Speak. And quite rightly on the screen there on your website, people from all over the world are learning together and making new friends with Speak. So tell us a bit more about that then. What's the idea of an impact business? Because it looks like you're doing that.
Yes, so anyone can join Speak. So you don't need to be an expat or you don't need to be a migrant. You can be a local and you want to share your language, your culture. So everyone that has this desire of sharing their language, their culture, meeting new people can join us at Speak. So and to do that is pretty simple. You can go directly to our website. You can apply as a participant if you want to only learn a language and a culture. And you can also apply as a buddy if you wish to share your language and culture. So it's an exchange. People
Lovely.
are there. I can be a buddy of Portuguese because it's my mother language, but I'm learning. I'm learning also different cultures. From time to time, I learn a different word because my audience, my group, will be with the migrants, expats. So I will learn from them as well. So it's always an exchange.
It's beautiful.
These groups, yeah,
And really, I think it's a very important thing for human beings at the moment, isn't it? We live
yeah,
in a world of what would appear to be ever increasing division and polarity. And what better way to have people come together in, let's face it, in a slightly vulnerable and open state, because you do feel, if you don't speak a language, you do feel a little bit at a disadvantage, don't you? But to come into a warm and welcoming environment where the other person knows what that's like, because they might be learning another language on a different day too. You're coming together, learning about each other's cultures, learning each other's languages. How beautiful is that? This should be on the news.
yeah. Yes. So we always try that our sessions are very informal and fun, so that we provide a welcoming session for everyone. So we want to make people feel at ease and be comfortable to speak and not be afraid of making mistakes. So it's totally okay if you are a bit afraid of trying to speak it the first time, but then
Yes.
The environment that we create in our sessions are always like welcoming, and people can feel okay to speak and learn
Yes.
new things.
Learn new things, learn the new language, learn about the culture, and make new friends, because that's so important.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
heartwarming. One of our great buddies here in this community is Philomena, and there she is, muito bem, from Philomena, giving us a thumbs up there, and she's in the comments. She's not missed the chance to say bon dia, Leria, to you this morning, and also I think somebody who knows you as well, Pam, bon diana.
Yes. Yes. I know Pam.
Pam's
she,
fantastic. She's really
yes.
involved in the local community. I'm sure this is part of it. Go on, tell us about Pam.
So Pam started with us. I don't know when exactly, but it was a long time ago. She started as participant. She was also very involved in our events, so our culture events. So I met her there. She's a nice lady,
Yeah, she's
always eager to learn Portuguese, more Portuguese. So yeah, that's where I met Pam. At Speak.
superb. All sorts of friendships are clearly occurring all over the world because of this. So there's the website for people to go to,
Yes.
speak.social, and you can look at it in English at the beginning, but hopefully within a few weeks you can look at it in other languages as well.
You can. Like you have 5 languages on the website, so you can change to Spanish, Portuguese. You can change it to German, to Italian. So we have the website on those languages.
Yes, and Pam saying Speak is a great place to meet people. The events and courses are very relaxed and welcoming. 5 stars to you. But look,
Thank you, Pam.
so here's a really good example here. I think I know what you're going to say to Elra here. So there's no
Yeah.
Speak in Helsinki. Can we encourage Elra to start one?
Yes, of course we can. We are not there yet, but we might be if she wants to. Like everyone
Yes.
can take Speak to their cities. We have a program. It's called Take Speak to Your City, and it's the way we replicate this project through all the cities that we are now. So everyone that is engaged with or likes to open Speak at their city can join, can be part of the experience and open Speak it in their cities. Yes.
Incredible. So is it a bit like TED Talks then? You know, there's a format that is used to syndicate and proliferate the idea around the world. You get a format if you want to be buddy. You get a format if you want to start up in a country and so on.
Yeah, so people can do an application. For example, if we speak about being a buddy, people sign up in our website to be a buddy. They feel they're like with their details, language that they would like to share, and then we kind of give them a small training. So we explain a bit our methodology, our platform that they can use. We have recently launched our app, a Speak app. So we explain how to access it and use it in the sessions. So and then after this, we start conversation. We speak with the buddy and see if when they want to host the session. So each language group has 12 sessions. Each session 90 minutes, so it's a total of 18 hours that the buddies need to commit. And if they tell us like I'm available 2 times a week, 3 times a week at a specific time, sessions will always take place on those days of the week and those times. So then people join, they register, they join, and then the group takes place.
How about that?
Regarding taking Speak to your city, it's a similar process. So the person needs to apply, conduct a few interviews, and then start testing the project. So always with the team helping to give the first steps. And yeah, I'm seeing Pamela incentivizing.
Yeah, the problem we've got is Elra describes herself as a lazy introvert. I promise nothing. So well, we can see about that, can't we? I'm sure you can help.
Speak is a good way to make people stop being so introverted. Like
yes, another benefit. They talk about impact. That's amazing. And Pete saying that would be the hardest group in Europe. Finnish is considered the hardest language, only related to Ostiak and Vogel. I don't even know what he's talking about there, but we're going to take his word for it. So I think we interrupted you there. So you were talking about bringing it to the new city.
Yeah, so it was basically that. So people can register if they will do some interviews with the team. The project will be explained to the people, and then they start a pilot. And yeah, they will always have the team's help to start doing language groups in the city, start advertising the project, so all of that.
That's superb. And you say it started in Leiria, here in Portugal.
Yes, Speak started in Leiria. Yes,
that's incredible, isn't it? So this is another reason to be proud of Portugal and proud of your particular.
Yes, very proud.
Yeah, this really impact is the right word. Global impact of this fantastic idea and project.
Yes.
Are the Portuguese government proud of you and holding you up as another great Portuguese export?
Yes, I think so. We collaborate with them. So as you know, we are welcoming refugees in our cities. So we are helping them, giving the first steps in the Portuguese language. So it's always in an informal environment, and making them feel at ease first with the language, then getting to know people. So we are helping these groups to start their lives in their new cities.
How amazing. And that's all of us to some extent, isn't it? I know people have come from very difficult circumstances, but there's a whole spectrum, isn't there, of how this can help people. And we're all seeking refuge in different types of ways, and what a brilliant way of integrating. It's superb. Pam says she misses the Speak Village. What's that then?
Oh, the Speak Village. Speak Village is, we had to stop that due to COVID, but it's a big event, like a weekend event, where we try to gather all the community from the different cities where we are. So we try to join and have fun for a weekend, where we can be with each other, do some workshops related with different cultures, and basically have fun, spend time together. So Pamela was in one of our Speak village event. So we did we try to always get to know a bit of the place where we are. So if it's a village, we try to go do some walks during in the village, and then have fun together, basically.
Incredible. So hopefully that will come. We've had a bit of a setback, haven't we, with the state of calamity?
Yes.
Hopefully the Speak villages can return. This is Elra. So we are doing our best to help you get established in Finland this morning. But Elra says she imagines a bunch of Finns just sitting there silent. Maybe they're all quite introverted as a national caricature there. I guess the Speak in Finland would need to take place in a sauna. That's the only place Finns open up. So would that happen? Do you have to validate whether the venues, or is that going to be okay if it's culturally appropriate?
Well, I think they can decide where they want to take these meetings. So
all right. And we'll come back to Portugal in just a minute, but Prof. Eusebio saying, bless you for supporting refugees, so different from the UK narrative at the moment. Portugal then. We have lots of people all over Portugal, people wanting to move to Portugal here in our community. How many groups are there around Portugal in this particular country?
We have more than 200, around 200 groups.
Really?
At the moment taking place. So it's not only Portugal, we are in different cities, but and we have people we have some groups online. We have people joining from everywhere, like from US, South America, China. So we have people from everywhere joining.
Yes, because I was thinking to myself, forgive me, but I'm thinking, Leiria, Aveiro. But of course, if it's online, you're getting it in 3 dimensions almost, aren't you? There's really, I suppose what I'm getting at, there is no excuse, is there? If you want to learn Portuguese and you want to work with Speak, there is going to be an opportunity to do that, isn't there?
Yeah. You can learn other languages, not only Portuguese. You can learn German, French, Finnish. If there's someone interested in teaching, in sharing Finnish and sharing about the Finnish culture, you can always do that. So
there you go. Come on, Elro, we can do this. Rebel Mama here, Khadija, who had too much birthday last night. I hope you had a great day yesterday. It sounds like you might have a slightly sore head. So if everybody doesn't speak too loudly or shout or move suddenly, that would be great. Hola, bon dia. Too much birthday last night, lol. But she goes on to say, I'm taking Speak again. Did it when I first came here and asked the teacher, Sarah, if she would repeat it. And I'm doing it now. It's great. So another wonderful validation there. The teacher and I had lunch together because she lives very close to me. So friendship and camaraderie. It's the social aspect is so good, isn't it? I have a sauna in my little house. Love it. Wish I could teleport it all to Portugal. So I think we're in business here between Suze and Elra there. And Elra saying, Finns say so because you have the saunas in public buildings, but you also have apartments that either shared saunas or private saunas in your bathroom. It's where everything that seems to take place in Finnish society is all around the sauna. What haven't we told people, Anna, about Speak that they need to know?
There's another way of joining Speak if you don't want to be in front of a group. So if you don't want to become a buddy, or if you don't want to open Speak in your city, but you are passionate about events, you can join as an ambassador, for example, and just organize these cultural events for the city where you are. So like the events that I attended yesterday with Andy, we went to a language exchange. Sometimes we have cultural quizzes about a specific country or culture. Like sometimes we also have like sharing different dishes from different countries. So if people are passionate about organizing events, meeting people, sharing cultures, they can join also as ambassadors
That's
at
amazing. So
Speak.
you've thought of everything, haven't you? And yeah, does this mean in Alaria there will be a whole load of Portuguese people speaking Brummie? That's Pete talking about Andy's accent there, and people. If he tries to teach you, oh what porkhead, then that's the very Brummie thing. But there's nothing wrong with that. And the idea of like having cultural parties where you're tasting, literally tasting or drinking the culture of another country is fantastic.
Yes.
So you must have some visionaries there who started this up. Who were the people who started it? And can we give them a shout out this morning?
Yes. So it was a small group of friends that started this idea. Hugo is our CEO and one of the people who started this. So he's the one to blame.
Yes, Hugo, thank you so much.
Yes. And yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to find a picture. Hugo seems a little bit of an introvert as well. I'm looking at the About Us on your website. I can't see a picture of Hugo, but good on you. And
well, Hugo is in, if you are checking the About Us page, Hugo is in the video of Speak Shiva's Venture finalist. So he's the guy there.
All right. Well, we'll feature Hugo probably next Tuesday on Consumer Tuesday because it's a great organization. You know, we do love to share great organizations with innovative ideas. And you tick all of those boxes, don't you? So finally then, Anna, thank you really so much. Muito obrigado for joining us this morning and telling us all about it. But before you go, we all love and are interested in Portugal here. What can you tell us about Leiria?
About Leiria. So it's a beautiful place. It's a calm city where everyone greets each other. It's close to the beach, so it's not very far to go to the coast and enjoy some sun and some sea. You have a beautiful castle to see, and yeah, and nice people, of course.
Yes, lovely people in Leiria, including yourself and the doc there.
Thank you.
I think we've got a picture from the speak. Look at this. This is amazing. A picture has been sent in from Pam. This, if people are hesitant to join up, I think this might seal the deal. This is incredible. This is from the Speak Village from Pamela, who's in Alcobaça. If you're in Alcobaça and you want to join Speak, I'm sure it's an amazing place when the conditions allow to meet up with Pam there. But look at this.
Yeah,
that looks like fun, doesn't it? Where was that? Do you know?
I don't remember the name. I forgot the name.
Is this? Where
but
is
it's
this one?
It's north. I forgot the name. Pam, do you remember the name?
Let us know. That is so beautiful. They look like they're having a fantastic time, and why wouldn't they with that backdrop and the lovely ethic that Speak is promoting here. And obrigada, Anna. What a special endeavor, says Michelle. He's over there in Australia. So if anybody wants to speak Australian as well, we can encourage Michelle to teach everybody Aussie. My Speak group is in Braga, says Khadija there, Rebel Mama. Fantastic. So we're learning more about Speak as each moment goes by here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Thanks again for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. You're welcome anytime. Anything that you want to announce, launch about Speak, please come back and do that. You have a key to the studio.
Okay. Thank you for the invitation, Carl. Have a nice day.
Bom fim de semana. Bom fim de semana.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao. There she goes. Thank you so much to Anna Neto from Speak there. And thanks to the doc for making that connection for us this morning. Superb. JB is getting ready, John. I honestly don't know if he's in Vegas or Lisboa. Las Vegas or Las Vegas or Lisboa. Where is he this morning? I'm going to find out in just a moment. After I've shared a couple more things with you. That's a fantastic picture, isn't it? That makes you want to go and learn the language, doesn't it? Being in those sorts of surroundings. This is one I didn't show you from Casa Carlos. Not me, but Carlos in North Dakota. And this goes beautifully with a comment made by Deagle. Let me find this. This is typical of our lovely community here and how we roll. Thank you, Victoria, for sending me details of that event in Algarve, which I will share in just a moment. And talk, of course, about the new state of calamity coming in as well. We'll return to that. Carl, if you're more fortunate than others, build a longer table, not a higher fence. And there you go. There's the picture to prove it at Casa Carlos yesterday in North Dakota. Invited loads of people over, obviously. So superb. What a great sentiment there. And talking of great sentiments and good words, we also have this in from James as well this morning on a Feel Good Friday. Let's pop this on the screen for you to enjoy and be inspired by. When Captain America goes back in time, he decides to try to make the world a better place by teaching it to be kinder, more honest and compassionate. He starts a local PBS show that is eventually syndicated. His show talks about standing up to bullies, loving those different from ourselves, and personal responsibility. The world is no longer has a need for Steve Rogers, but instead has gained Mr. Rogers. There you go. We've been introduced to Mr. Rogers by our American friends here. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, James. I was going to share, I issued the apology earlier on, didn't I, to Victoria for accusing her of having a tosta mista and a coffee every morning, or even a beer. But no, look at this. There's a different sort of breakfast with a view in the background of Praia de Rocha for you as well there. That looks seriously healthy. That's most of Portugal's lettuce in just one sandwich there. And we've had the long view of the Christmas lights. Come on, folks, get your pictures of Christmas lights in. There's Thunder Duck's apartment in Lisbon looking up, and there's looking out. Very festive, very nice, and I'm sure he enjoys a glass of aguardente there on occasion, and probably more so as we move towards Christmas. Oh, I took a picture yesterday for you of some ginger from Obidos in that cafe I was talking about, where we had the hot chocolates and sweet potato chips. They had a nice little display of ginger. Well, that sounds like the right sort of drink to be having at this time of year. Not that I am, but the ginger drink from Obidos, just down the road from me, I would suggest as a nice little bit of festive cheer in a shot glass. John, just getting ready and joining us on the screen in just a moment. A couple more images to share with you. Do prompt me if I've missed any of your images this morning. This is the event that's happening down there in the south. Thanks to you, Victoria, for this. Feira de Caridade do Natal. 4th to the 11th of December, 11 until 5 every day. Feito a mão para si. That's you. So what is that? Our handcrafts for you, I guess. A feito a mão. That's a lovely phrase, isn't it? And that's at Castelo de Sonhos down there in the south of the country in the Algarve. Castelo de Sonhos receberá a totalidade das receitas. So all the money going to the castle of the sounds is that. Tell us more about that. What is Castelo de Sonhos, please, there, Victoria? And there's a Facebook page for them if you want to find out more yourself. This is in Silvish. Friends of Castelo de Sonhos there, if you want to find out more. More of these, please. Local events. We cover the global, the national stuff, but we also want to know what's going on in your locality. So if you get a poster like this, send it to me and I will share it with you. I think I'm up to date on what's been sent to me. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, and I'll do my best to feature it before 10 o'clock this morning. We're going to go now to John and find out exactly where he is in the world. John, good morning to you. How are you?
Bom dia, Carl. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well indeed. It's Feel Good Friday, John. How are you feeling this morning?
I feel fantastic. We're here in we're in Bairro Alto.
You are in Lisbon. You are in Lisbon.
Yeah, we sure are. We decided to take a couple weeks and celebrate Thanksgiving, which was last night for those of you Americans, or I can't do the time change. It may still be going on. But yeah, no, we had a great time. We've been here for about a week and we love it.
Excellent. Well, I want to talk to you about that. You know, and you're from Las Vegas, right?
We live in Las Vegas now. Yeah, we're originally from the East Coast.
Okay, all right. So what a brilliant journey, and to compare and contrast what goes on in Las Vegas apparently now happens in Lisbon too. We'll find out if that's true. We also need to find out from you what's going on here. John, what is happening there?
That was last Christmas. That was last Christmas. Right. That is one of our dogs. Yeah, that's one of our dogs who we affectionately call Monster because look how tough she is. She's obviously a monster. You can tell. So
I can tell. It's in the eyes. It's in the eyes, isn't it? Not impressed. Not impressed with the Christmas jumper there, or your Santa's helper dungarees. I think.
We have a tradition, and every Christmas we get to choose outfits for everyone else to wear. So last year it was ridiculous overalls. Mhm.
Clearly, and it looks like it worked very. It looks like it worked very well. So
Yeah.
tell us about Bairro Alto. I mean, you're right in the heart of Lisbon, there, aren't you? Enjoying Lisbon to the full by the sound of it, and all the best that the capital has to offer. Tell us about how it is for you there right now. And anyone who's got any questions of John, please stick him in the chat. American in Lisbon. You know, you have your chance to quiz him now. So yeah, tell us about your experience there, John, if you will.
Please do. It's great. I mean, we're directly across from Lookout Park, which is fantastic. I wanted to put it in the background, but then it would just all be white and I would be black.
Yes.
So, but it's kind of right over there.
Oh,
yeah, no, it's fantastic. I will say that people might maybe come here the first time for the food, or come here for the history, or come here for the art, or whatever. But I mean, what I've said to several people is, you'll come back for the people. Like it's really, it's quite something. And in a world that's, call it, complex right now, it's really nice and it's really pleasant, and it's been very welcoming. We try at Portuguese, but the truth is we're kind of terrible. It's the early phases, and nobody has been anything less than absolutely hospitable and sensational about it. So we've loved it.
Yeah. So keep going, keep going. You will be fine, and you'll be getting those thumbs up and with the veins from people. What first turned you on to Portugal then? You East Coast originally, living in Las Vegas. How did you get to discover Portugal? And what are your plans that you're prepared to share with us?
Yeah, so I mean, we've spent a fair amount of time coming to Europe, when we've kind of spent time all over the place, or whatever. But ultimately, what was really important to us was finding a place that was really sort of comfortable and felt like home. It's easy to like somewhere. It's different, I think, to feel at home somewhere, and that's kind of a different thing. Yeah. So what we ended up doing was pursuing a golden visa, kind of in the traditional process. And a few weeks ago, we submitted all the paperwork, and everything's done and everything's taken care of. So now we're just waiting on, sort of SEF and everyone else to process things and do the interview. But it's been great. I'm not going to say it was easy. It was not the easiest process. We were very, very happy to have a wonderful team of, attorneys and other folks to help out with. Otherwise, I don't think we could have navigated, but it was well worth every bit of effort that it took. Yeah.
Okay. Can we go into that? Because that was going to be my next question to you. How did you find that process? What's been difficult about that then?
Well, I think that I feel like actually the working with the sort of government and their paperwork was really the easiest part. Yeah. I think for us, the biggest challenge was really just getting through the banking process. It really took an unbelievable amount of time to us. Okay, Americans, impatient people, understood. But it took us. I mean, it took us a couple months to really get the bank account completely opened. It was, and so it was quite a bit of effort. But at the same time, I mean, it was well worth it. There was nothing unreasonable about the process. It was just it took quite a bit. There was lots of DHL involved, and lots of getting apostilles on things and sending stuff to here, there, and the other. And because it's my whole family, my wife and my daughter, there were lots of, we needed a birth certificate from here and a marriage license from there, and all these sort of things. And so there was kind of a lot involved to doing it. But I think, I mean, ultimately, I found it to be very reasonable. It was just, it was not without taking a bit of effort. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And I think, in relative terms, the Portuguese process, and as you say, it wasn't so much the government, was it? It was all the sort of administrative stuff you had to find. But it seems that the Portuguese government's requirements are fairly fair and attractive. It would seem.
Yeah, I think that's unquestionably the case. I didn't think that there was anything unreasonable about the process. I didn't think that any request was unreasonable. I didn't think that the paperwork wasn't particularly onerous. There was just a fair amount of it. But I thought, considering that this is a country that is willing to accept like strangers.
Yes,
I thought that the process was very kind of reasonable, and so I was leaving aside that it took a little bit of time to go back and forth and make sure we got things right, and stuff had to be in multiple languages and whatnot. All in all, I was very sort of pleased with it. It was obviously well worth it, unquestionably.
Superb, superb. Okay, let's talk about Bairro Alto now then, because look, here are some pictures, and this is love Bairro Alto, says Victoria, who's in the Algarve, but loves a bit of Lisbon as well. What are the highlights here for you? I mean, you're going to see the 28 tram here, aren't you? This is the iconic scenery that's famous all over the world when people think of Lisbon.
Yeah, the 28 tram is very close to us. What are the highlights? 2-foot wide sidewalks where you dodge cars. That's a highlight.
Yes.
The having 6 bars in the alley right outside the place we're staying that are open until after 3 a.m. That's definitely a highlight. No, look, I mean, the truth is that it's a great neighborhood, and it's incredibly friendly. I mean, you're within a block or two from a great restaurant, a great bar, great transportation, all that sort of stuff the entire time. We didn't know the neighborhood before sort of choosing to come here for a few weeks. So there was a kind of an element of gamble, and I feel like we're very pleased. I would be hard pressed not to recommend anyone to come here for a few weeks, just the neighborhood, to check it out.
Yeah.
And we've made a lot of friends since we've been here, just
Have
from
you?
people in the
Tell us
neighborhood.
about that. Yeah, so people have been hospitable and welcoming in that way. You've made Portuguese BFFs, have you?
Yes, we certainly have, and that's been, I think that speaks volumes to what kind of area it is, and to Lisboa and to Portugal in general, that you can come there and honestly not speak the language terribly well, but you make a good effort, and people are very open-minded to meeting new people and like forging new relationships. I think it's been great.
Excellent. And what are the iconic places, the tourist parts of Bairro Alto? There's Rocio's, Praça de Rocio in that part of town.
I'm not sure if it's technically in the neighborhood, because I'm the worst tour guide, but I know that it's close. I know it's close because we walked past it the other day. The truth is that as tourists, we're terrible. We're terrible tourists. We are excellent at eating food. And drinking wine and liquor. We're very good at that. We're good at grocery shopping because we get hungry. But truthfully, we kind of just typically more explore.
Well, I think that makes you great tourists, actually. Ginger de Alcobaça. We are talking about the ginger liqueur. And Khadija loves that as well. Ginger, my fave. It can cause headaches as well when consumed in excess. Of course, that particular brew. What are your favourite things? And let's talk about that. You found the bars and the restaurants close to you. What have you discovered that you would commend to others here?
Well, I'll tell you what. So last night we went to So last night was Thanksgiving, and American Thanksgiving is sort of about. Aside from being about family and that sort of thing, it's typically bigger, heavier, larger meals. It's about a setting. It's about gathering together. We went to a place called Sacramento, which is not too far from here. It might technically be the next neighborhood over. And I really thought that it was great. I mean, it was clearly, unquestionably full of, tourists. There were, I feel like the only Portuguese people that worked there. But what I will say is that the environment was great. It kind of felt like it was maybe in an old church or something like that. And the food was excellent, and the service was great. And it was that nice kind of environment where you felt like you could sit together with the people that you're with and be surrounded by others, but still have private conversations and enjoy things. So we were there for almost 3 hours last night, actually. So, and what did you eat?
Did you have traditional Thanksgiving food or something else?
No. We definitely we went Portuguese. So I had pork. My wife had a different type of pork. Our daughter had chicken, and we went very American. We had liquor instead of wine. But so how are you going to turn down?
So what else is good in Lisbon then, John? Because people are coming over. You know, I help people put together itineraries. What should I know about? What should others know about when they're coming to Lisbon? What are the things that you've found especially entertaining or educational?
Well, the thing I love about Bairro Alto specifically is the view of the city.
Yeah.
You know, being Lookout Park, I feel like that's because it's kind of, forgive me if my geography is not quite right, but it's kind of shaped like yes, Miradoro, exactly. We're directly across the street from Miradoro. You know, there's a sort of beautiful view of the city, and I think that's something that you could easily sort of drive past or ride past in a ride share or walk past and not really kind of appreciate it. But I think it's beautiful, and the you know, the architecture and the colors and all of that sort of stuff. And at sunset, to be at one of the Lookout Parks at sunset is really amazing to see the colors spill across the building and whatnot. Like it's one of those things that sounds maybe very simple, but when you experience it, it's one of those things you remember. It's special.
Yes, indeed. Making memories in Lisbon. And can I ask you as well, you mentioned you brought your daughter over. A lot of people coming to Portugal for a visit or for the longer term, obviously with kids, are thinking, is my child going to fit in, going to like it here? What's been your family's experience of moving with a child?
Yeah. So she's 12. You know, so kind of at that phase between sort of having a family identity and having a personal identity,
Absolutely.
and kind of being in the middle of that. And I'll say she's always been very sort of good at being independent, but at the same time, there's always the sort of fear or unsettlingness of the new or the unfamiliar or that kind of thing, particularly when you're chucked into an environment where you know, where the default language is not your language. I think that she's been very comfortable and enjoyed herself, and it's been sort of you know, very easy, and particularly for, you know, kids, how it is, like if they're American kids, right, all they ever want is a hamburger, macaroni and cheese, or pizza. That's it. That's all they ever want to eat. And she's not failed to find something that she enjoyed to eat at restaurants and that sort of stuff. And so I feel like you know, in the big scheme of all the countries that we visited in Europe and elsewhere, this has been the sort of easiest or simplest transition, the most comfortable. And I think that's, you know, I think that's something. I think it speaks to the people, because they have buildings and they have food and they have drink and they have interesting transportation and whatnot everywhere, but they don't have great people everywhere. So.
It's true. It's absolutely true, isn't it?
I'm American. If I didn't say we don't have great people everywhere, I wouldn't be being honest. I mean, let's be honest. So, you know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear that your soon-to-be teenager is having a comfortable time of coming over, and that'll be a great comfort to other people as well. And I mean, the buzz of the big city is great, isn't it? I think when you're young as well. And this is an interesting point as well. If you've got a very small children, maybe not the best place to go, because it's not the best place to go for a good night's sleep. It is 24 hours, isn't it? I mean, pretty much, because by the time everyone's gone to bed, I think the garbage guys are out, aren't they, emptying the bins, and the whole place is coming to life again. What's that like?
Yeah, that's right. If I would say any one thing has been challenging about the neighborhood specifically, and it hasn't been for me or for my wife, but for our daughter, where her room faces towards the small side street where there are bars and there are restaurants. So that's been a little bit tricky for her. Because from sort of 1 to 3 a.m., it's kind of loud, and there are sing-alongs that happen, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the good thing is that this is, you know, sort of a holiday rental for us, and that is something we would you know, we would choose something that was not directly on the corner.
Yes. Yeah. I think you've got your thumb on the mic there, John. We've lost your sound a little bit there. No, you're back again. I hear you again. Okay, so a great experience, it would appear, of Lisbon, which is fantastic. Have you got your eye on anywhere else in Portugal? Do you want to ask anything of our community here while we've got you?
Well, so we're actually headed down on Monday. Back in the States, our daughter's in what they call a Waldorf school, which
Oh
is
yeah,
kind of like an experiential type school. We're
yeah.
actually going to visit one that is down near Lagos on Monday, just so she can see what one is like here and how different it is.
Cool.
So that's going to be kind of a road trip, and let me see exactly. Oh, I don't have my map up anymore.
But that's a good tip for other people, because people are looking for a sort of more alternative or holistic type education. The Waldorf and Steiner traditions are pretty interesting, aren't they?
It's been the best thing that ever happened to her education.
Tell us more about that. Tell us more.
Yeah. She went from hating school and not ever wanting to go to being upset if she's not early. So yeah. It's been huge. So to the extent that anyone is thinking about exploring whether or not Waldorf is right for their kids, I would suggest just go and visit. That's exactly what we did. As we didn't, it looked sort of interesting, and we went and visited this particular one in Las Vegas, and we could tell right away it was going to be good. I mean, it's a K-12 school, right? So kindergarten through 12th grade through the end of high school. And this particular school that we have in the US only has 65 kids total. So It's very, very small. So we're going to visit one here. Like I said, it's down just west of Lagos. So we're going down there. If there's anything interesting to do sort of along the way there or near there, we'd be more than happy to do that, because we're making kind of a 3-day trip out of what's probably going to be an hour and a half meeting down there.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of time.
Okay. I think I found it. We may be talking about the Escola Waldorf Oliveira. Is that the one at Vila de Bispo?
That sounds right to me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put the link for that as a kind of different kind of education. A smaller school. They do a lot of craft work. Is it quite Steinerish as well as Waldorf? Is there a sort of combo of the two?
Well, I don't know. What I would say is this. What I would say is that there's a huge focus, at least in our experience, on learning through doing. So, like, for example, in science class, they don't learn about a Faraday cage. They build a Faraday cage, right? That's exactly it, right? Or they don't learn about gardening; they grow a garden. Or they don't learn about building a building. They build a building.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is very, sort of different. What I would say is, in our school of her school of 65 people, we are lucky enough that one of the teachers is Brazilian and speaks Portuguese. So she can actually take Portuguese in a school of 65 people, which, in the US, it's impossible to find Portuguese.
Incredible. Lovely discovery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Oliveira, that's interesting. It is their logo is an olive tree there. It is Global Olive Tree Day. I beg your pardon. So please go out and hug the olive trees and give thanks for those beautiful creatures on this planet as well. That's amazing. I think you're gonna have. Let's see if we've got any suggestions in for John. If you're driving down from Lisbon to Vila de Bispo, there, I think that's going to be an amazing road trip. You're obviously going to be going through the Alentejo. So I think, and Dubai you might pop into as well. Are you going to drive? Which of the iconic bridges will you be driving across, or are you taking the train?
No, we're gonna drive, because we thought it might be. Typically, we'd normally take a train, but we thought it'd be fun to drive just to do something sort of different. So I think there are two routes, right? There's one that's closer to the coast, and there's one that's a bit more inland. And so I think we're going to do one direction and one the other direction, so that we kind of do a bit of both. Yeah.
It's going to be great. If you've got any suggestions for John there, do pop them in the chat. Lagos is super small but nice. Nice people there, as you would expect. That's where we started this conversation, wasn't it? It's all about the people. And a gorgeous town as well. Have you seen any Fado? Rebel Mama wants to know. You've been in Lisbon. Have you seen Fado?
No, we have not. I think mainly because, again, we are terrible tourists. So we're just, I guess kind of what we figure about it is that, it's one thing to be someplace for 3 days and you're never going to come back, or 7 days and you're never going to come back. But we're kind of the mind that we've got literally forever to
Well,
get at.
what a great attitude and position to be in. Look at Portimao as well. Victoria's saying it's a bit bigger and has a bigger downtown area with Feelgood right across the bridge and good train and bus access there as well. Whilst you're here, we also have a jazz funk track of the day. Benny Golson's I'm Always Dancing to the Music. That's a floor filler for sure. Thank you very much, Chris, for that. Hola, bon dia. And a Faja de Jazz Funk do Dia from you there, Benny Golson, always dancing to the music. Antonio has to go, so a bon fin de semana to you, Antonio F. See you next week. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you, John, for joining us this morning. Is there anything else you want to share with us? I mean, you're such a sport. You said you made contact, and I said, "Do you want to be on the show?" And you said, "Yeah, sure." So thank you for doing that. That's the spirit.
Sounded like a good idea to me. No, but I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any about anything. Like I said, I mean, we just finished the whole golden visa process, and that, of course, involved, lawyers and bankers and translators and all manner of different things like that. And then, and it's there's a certain amount of complexity associated with that, particularly if you're American. So I'm happy to answer any sort of questions about that if anybody has any. Or whatever.
Yeah, that's very kind of you. Thank you for that. So stick around towards the end of the show. Now, I'm just gonna share a few of the pics that are coming in, so we can build on the Feelgood Friday vibe here as we go into the weekend.
Yeah,
building sounds amazing, says Victoria. My daughter started the Habitat for Humanity group in her school years ago. What a great experience that was. That's superb. And I think what you said there, being a terrible tourist, I like that. I totally get what you mean. You're not doing the traditional things. You've got a long-term view. And you want to connect with the people and the spirit of the place rather than just the more superficial, which is a great ethic. I'm not a tourist either, says Suze, and Taxi there in the picture. Love to live in places to get the full experience. My friends call me a gypsy. Maybe, but it is my way, says Suze. And your monster dog there, did the dogs come over with you, or are they coming back home?
So they're with my sister, just because this was only a few weeks that we're going to be here. Otherwise, yes, they would be. But yeah, no. Right now they're keeping my sister busy because we have two. One of them is 8 pounds and one of them is 10 pounds, and but both of them have an 800-pound personality. So.
And they'll be coming over in due course. We do have quite a few people who've brought pets over. So if you need any help with that, go to our forum.
That would be appreciated. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, we're going to be going to not far from you as we end the show today. From James today. Look at that. Beautiful sea view at Ericeira there. These are the sort of skies we're seeing at the moment, this time of year, of course, with a few clouds in the sky, not the traditional blue sky of the 300 days of sunshine. We're into the cloudier days, of course, at this time of year. Beautiful pictures. Thank you so much. I'll just take that banner off so you get the full glory of that for just a moment. Thank you, James, for sharing that. And is your curbstone blue there? It's all about the whites and blues in Ericeira. Absolutely there. So thank you very much for those. And up to the north now, up to Rebel Mama. And Picky's from the Pineda Gerês. I think I need to look at the message that was sent to me so we completely understand this. So that is Pineda. Is that Senora Pineda in the Pineda Gerês, 30 minutes northeast of us? Sort of a mini Bon Jesus. Indeed. The area is spectacularly gorgeous. And a view of the drive up is just coming up for you now. Let me bring that onto your screen. Thank you for your wonderful pictures. Look at that. That's Portugal, folks. You might not think so on first glance, because we're comparing and contrasting those pictures of Bairro Alto and the pictures you normally see when Lisbon is represented. But look at how big the view can be as well here in Portugal at that particular Miradouro. So thank you very much for those. Let me just check, see if anyone's got anything else to add. Butter and beans. Batter and beans. This is my thread with Owen, and he sent a recipe over for chicken liver pate, which some may enjoy. Is that for circulation, Owen? Thank you very much for that. I think that just about does it this morning. Let's go see a few of the comments left, see if we've got any more comments to share. We certainly have. Look at this. Seeing the pictures. God, I love Portugal. And yes to the curbs being blue as well. That's quite incredible. The blue curbs of Ericeira there. And it's only a 5-minute drive between all those locations from the pictures that James sent. Yes, alternative education, especially for American kids, since our normal systems are so horrifying. And that's a teacher talking. I was a teacher for 20 years, is the only way to go for sure. Glad Waldorf is great for your kiddo there. Khadija is saying to you. That was really, really nice to hear that. You know, a child not liking school and then complaining about being dropped off early, too late for school. You will get me there on time, right? Is that what she's saying?
Absolutely. That's exactly what it's like. Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And Montessori being mentioned as well, and Steiner are very different perspectives. I think Steiner and Waldorf are in the same sort of category, and Montessori, I think that's quite hands-on as well, isn't it? But all of these lovely alternatives for people to take a look at. I think I'm going to leave this comment on the screen as we go out today. Wishing you all a bon fin de semana, and a muito obrigado to you, Jon. All the best to you, my friend, with your onward journey here. And may you find many more pleasures and treasures along the way, and have a super trip down there to the south. And all the best, and lots of love to your family.
Oh my God! Have a great, fantastic weekend.
Will do. Let's extend that to everybody here. All the best and all the love to you and yours as we sort of bathe in the afterglow of Thanksgiving, having given gratitude for everything and everyone around us. Let's carry that forward, folks. And with that, God, I love Portugal sentiment too. Have a great weekend. We will see you tomorrow night if you want to join us, and we'll be taking a deeper look at that New Life Portugal idea that opens up in the new year. And of course, we will be back on Monday with the visa update with Gilda Pereira. So let me just play the outro video if I can find it, with so many things that are being sent in. Thanks again, Jon. Take care. Bye for now. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye for now.
Ciao, até a próxima.